I did want to start off today on a somber note and remember the life of Jennifer Lyell, who some of you may have known her or have heard of her. She was an executive at Lifeway Christian Books. A number of authors, Christian authors, women in particular, worked with her there. Before that, I think she was at Moody Press, and she was a remarkable woman, extremely bright, brilliant, really. And she became rather infamous against her will when she was talked into publicly reporting sexual abuse at the hands of her seminary professor. And from that point on, things really started to spin out of control, as is a consistent pattern inside a lot of churches, and this was inside the SBC. She was the one who was villainized. She was blamed for her abuse, and she was ruthlessly attacked. Uh, to make matters worse, in her initial reporting, the Baptist press changed her words and her accusation and changed it from sexual assault to an immoral relationship that she had been involved in. And that really set the narrative, and that stuck. And so for years, she has been harassed um, uh, in horrific ways by members of the SBC and conservative media. And it was just devastating to watch this play out. And the whole reason that she agreed to report publicly was to protect other women. And this was a man who had been on the mission field, had planned to go back on the mission field. There is a report from another survivor who makes a very similar claim against him. As I understand it, he fought to keep that out of the public view. It's a terrible story from start to finish. Last week, she suffered a series of massive strokes, and she had been suffering from various health problems since she had reported and since she had just gone through the gauntlet. She actually reached out to me 3 years ago. And when the lies and the harassment was at its peak. And I didn't know her well, but she reached out to me to ask my opinion. Given everything that was being said about her, how much did I think the average person was believing? All of the lies. And I had to tell her that people inside those spaces, people who followed this particular journalist who was leading the way in attacking her, I said, they will believe anything that they hear from their trusted sources. But I told her there's a whole world out there, a much bigger world, and you can leave this little space and you can step into that world and make a new life for yourself there. But she couldn't, because they kept pulling her back in. Her alleged predator actually sued her, and so she had to get pulled back into this space. And that was all going on last week as people were gearing up for the SBC's annual convention. And the pressure that she felt was enormous. 3 years ago, she told me, Kristen, I don't think I can survive this. Physically, I don't think I can make it through. And those words were just echoing in my mind when I heard of her death from a series of strokes at age 47. So those of us who knew her, those of us in the broader survivor communities and allies, it has been an absolutely devastating week. It has been so hard, and the messages being exchanged are, it's just, I can't even describe the sense of loss and fury, just absolute anger that we are feeling. The horror that she was put through for years. Nobody should go through that. And so many survivors in church spaces say the abuse was horrible, but what happened after that was worse. And that was certainly true in Jennifer's case. So we want to honor her memory, her courage, and lament, grieve the loss of this beautiful life and somebody who still had so much to offer this world. So thank you for letting me say that and pay tribute to a beautiful soul.